Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody, families remain safe. What a great afternoon, a great day it was this past weekend. I thought our guys came out and played hard. I thought they did a great job of competing. It wasn't perfect, but you know what? We found a way to get across that line together, and that's all that matters. You know, shout out to the Chiefs Kingdom. I thought our fans did a hell of a job. That was a great atmosphere to be a part of. But now we're on to the next one. Our guys are working their tails off, and we know we have a tremendous challenge up front, okay? So with that said, I'm all ears.
Big question, obviously, rumors, USC. Any truth to it? Have you talked to Andy about it? I mean, you can tell us, we'll keep a secret, but, any interest in that position?
Well, you know me, okay? You guys know me. I am where my feet are, okay? So when it's all said and done with, I am focused on the task at hand. I'm not worried about anything where my name is being mentioned. My job right now is to make sure that we're preparing, all right, for this weekend's opponent.
Along those same lines, though, Coach, if USC were to reach out to you, is this a position that you would probably find yourself interested in?
I think you guys know me better than that. So if USC reached out to me right now, my answer would be I am preparing, all right, for this team to play against the Baltimore Ravens. And that's how I roll. You guys know that.
You tell them no.
I am where my feet are, okay? My job is to make sure that we're ready to play a complete, sound 60-minute football game where we can come out and win the game.
Eric, when you hear the name Sammy Watkins, what comes to mind with your experience with him?
You know what? A beautiful soul. Sammy is a great kid. He did a lot of great things for us. It was actually weird watching him, on the game the other night, just seeing him and watching him. He actually looked pretty good. But proud of him, wishing him all the best with the exception of this weekend. So, but it'd be good, just to see him and say hello to him.
Eric, what are your thoughts on how Orlando Brown and Lucas Niang played against Cleveland?
You know what? Like I said, I thought they played hard. I thought they competed. One thing when you're playing in your first game, it's never perfect. But you know what? I thought our guys did a great job of just fighting every opportunity that they had. And when it was all said and done, we gave ourselves an opportunity to win. And that's the thing that I'm proud of. And you know how I roll. It doesn't make a difference what numbers guys put out there. The only thing that matters are the alphabets. We found a way to come home with a W, and that's all that matters.
What tells you those guys are going to, if anything, tells you those guys are going to play better this week?
You know what? Just because of the chemistry that they've developed. Those guys understand the importance of being on the same page. There's some little things that I know Coach Heck is tweaking and making sure that these guys will be sound. But when it's all said and done with, these guys will learn through their experiences. And sometimes those experiences ain't always necessarily the best ones, but it's the negative ones that have an impact on you that help you to grow together.
Eric, how important is it to you to get another receiver really engaged in the passing game, and what's it going to take to do that, to have that full go?
Well, I think our quarterback does a hell of a job of distributing the ball around. Now, I know certain guys have some high numbers, but sometimes that happens. But when it's all said and done with, all of our guys are included in everything that we do. And these guys have the ability to go out there and make plays. This week, those two made some plays. Next week, it could be someone else. But when it's all said and done with, everybody has a role. Everybody does their part, and everybody understands what it takes for us to make sure that we're on the same page so we can go out there and be successful to win.
Coach, I know you all find yourself down 8-0 to start the game off, but as a running back, and I know OC, you all ran the ball at a clip of a little over 3 yards a carry. Is that something that's acceptable to you, or would you like to see more from your line in the run game? Because you had 23 attempts, but only 73 yards rushing.
And here's the thing. Yes, we would love to run the ball better. But when it's all said and done with, we got to win, okay? Now, there's some things that we need to clean up? Yes. Can we be better up front? Yes. Can we see it a little better from the running back position? Yes. But when it's all said and done with, that's why you play the game. You make sure that you have those opportunities. You find the things that you didn't execute as well, and so you go and work it so you can make sure that we can improve upon it moving forward. But I thought, like I said, I thought our guys did a tremendous job of finding a way of dragging their asses across the finish line when it's all said and done with.
What you saw Monday night with the Raiders defense and of course what you saw from the Ravens defense, what challenges do you see? What are some of the biggest challenges that's going to face your offense Sunday night?
Well, I mean, we've played against this team now for the past, this will be year 4 in a row. And Coach Wink, the defensive coordinator, he does a hell of a job. I mean, first and foremost, you know you got to be able to stop all the blitzes that are coming. You got to have a plan. You know, another thing, they're going to line up and play man coverage. They're very, very aggressive in what they do and how they want to attack. But when it's all said and done with, you know, we know that you got to line up between the lines and go out and play. Our guys need to just make sure that they're relaxed and comfortable and allow their personalities to show. You know, it's important that we go out and play assignment-sound football, but also it's important that we maximize the opportunities that are presented to us. And if you eliminate the mistakes, now you're giving yourself a chance to even go win in a tough environment.
Eric, given what you said and where your feet are, I just wanted to ask for some clarity. Are you only wanting to pursue a head coaching job in the NFL, or would you be open to both options if we get to the end of the season and the coaching cycle has possibilities in both college and the NFL?
You know what, Nate? That's a great question. And I'll say this, not to disrespect you or anyone in here, okay? You guys know I'm a focus-driven individual. That's a question that I can answer when the season's over. You know, at this particular moment, my job is to make sure that we're ready to go. And when it's all said and done with, that stuff will take care of itself. You know, I got a bunch of guys here who are counting on me. I always talk to our players about the importance of being accountable to one another. So how can you be accountable to someone if you're allowing distractions to seep in? This is not what we're about here. This is why we've had the success that we've had here, because we find ways to eliminate the distractions and focus on the task at hand. Today is our 3rd down day, so it's situational football day. That's the task that I'm focused on, and I need to make sure that we come away with a good practice so we can give ourselves a chance to have a chance on Sunday to go out and play.
On those 3rd downs, Eric, we know the Ravens like to blitz, particularly when they get you in 3rd and long situations. How much of just playing the Ravens year after year helped you in that regard, and was there any certain looks that you saw against the Raiders that you did not see last year?
Well, I'll say this. Obviously, they're playing a little bit more zone coverage, which everybody does. But I will say this. Coach Wink is going to be Coach Wink. The Ravens are going to be the Ravens. And one thing that we do know, that's a tough, hard-nosed football team. They have a history there. And so we know those guys are going to be physical up front. They're going to be physical on the perimeter. Our guys understand that. Our receivers know. Our tight ends know. And our backs know. All right? Expect man coverage and react to zone. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan versus man coverage. You got to execute your plan, and you got to go out and win. And so when it's all said and done with, that's our focus, okay? We understand that they're going to give us a variety of different looks. It's not about what they do. It's about how well we go out and execute our game plan.
And the blitzes. Andy Reid noted how fast this defense is that he sees on tape. Do you and Kafka have to be in Pat's ear a little bit just to be careful with some of the scrambles and different things that he sometimes likes to do, just like we saw in last game on the 5-yard touchdown, for example?
You know what? You never want to tell Pat that he can't do this or he can't do that. You want those guys' personalities to show. Now, he understands that he needs to protect himself. That's very important. But when it's all said and done with, like I said, we want our players' personalities to show. They have to be able to be themselves. But they also understand, too, let's play within the scheme, all right, so we can go out and make sure that we're giving ourselves a chance to line up the next play and have an opportunity to execute that next play when it's all said and done with.
How excited are you for Orlando to get this opportunity to go back?
You know what? I think Orlando's pretty excited. But I'll say this. Orlando was drafted by this team. I know Coach Harbs, okay? First of all, Coach Harbs is a great man. He's a hell of a coach. And for them to trade him, I don't think there's any ill will or no bad blood. I think Orlando will probably be back, just be happy to be back just to see some of his old teammates. So, I don't think there's no ill will for him going back. At the end of the day, yes, do you always want to play against your former team and beat them? Yes, I think that's a natural occurring thing. But more than anything, I guarantee you he'll be happy when it's all said and done with that he had an opportunity to see some of his closest friends.
I know we talked about Sammy Watkins, but also Justin Houston is on that team.
Oh, yeah, big 5-0.
We'll probably think he could impose on the offense.
I mean, Justin is a hell of a football player. It's the reason why he's had the career that he's had. And so we're very aware of what Justin brings to the table. We just need to make sure that we don't make it about Justin. We don't want all the attention going to Justin because that means that we're not actually doing what we need to do. We just need to go out there, allow our guys to play, and make sure that we're neutralizing their rush, but more importantly, making sure that we're focused on what we need to do.
You talk about playing within this game. Of course, Patrick, the long pass, 75 yards to Tyree. How much of that is in the scheme, and how much of it is just Patrick being Patrick?
Well, I mean, sometimes plays break down. I think one thing Pat does a great job of is extending the play. And a part of that is it's a part of what we do and how we practice. We're always talking to our guys about finishing, staying on the run. All right. When things break down, what is your responsibility? Where do you need to be in order for us to be effective? And so those are things that we work on. And you guys got to understand, when those things happen on game day, it's not by chance that they happen. Okay. It's because we've rehearsed it and worked on that stuff when things don't go right in practice. And so these guys have a rhythm. They trust each other. Guys know exactly where they're going to be in certain concepts when we're working the scramble drill. And so that's just the trust and chemistry that has been formulated over the years.
As an offensive coach, which do you enjoy more? One play, 75 yards, or 14 plays, 75 yards, 7.5 minutes like you did in the beginning?
Me being an old running back coach, it's that drive, you know what I mean? Just having the patience to drive the length of the field. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll take any touchdown on one play. Hell, we can have 8 plays and score, 8 touchdowns. I'll be satisfied. But one thing that I've talked to our guys about is making sure that we have the ability to remain patient and drive the length of the field. Because certain defenses are playing in certain ways. As you saw, the Cleveland Browns and Joe Woods and his defensive staff, they played more zone. They played everything from the back. They didn't want us beating them over the top. All right? So what they did, they allowed us to make sure that we can chew clock and execute by throwing underneath and making sure that we can sustain the drive. And so those are the things that we need to continue to focus on. All right? It's all about the little things. It's all about maximizing opportunities and everybody understanding exactly where they fit in those particular concepts that we're calling.
You guys have a lot of talent in the running back room, and on Sunday, Clyde got the vast majority of the work. Dale got a little bit. McKinnon got a few snaps. Do you feel like that's going to be kind of the formula for you guys, or is that more situational for what the Browns are showing?
Well, I think, each game presents a different issue. At that particular time, we felt Clyde was the hot hand, so we just allowed Clyde to continue to play. But there's no definitive of role of what we're going to do each and every week. We just want our guys to go out there and play hard and play fast, have a sense of urgency and a sense of purpose, but more important, to be accountable to the next man. That's the things that we worry about more than anything.
Coach, you spoke about the blitz earlier, how the Ravens love the blitz. Patrick, throughout his career, has had a ton of success against the blitz. When you watch the film, how do you explain that, about how he's able to find success against extra rushers coming at him?
You know what? He's done a great job of just progressing throughout his entire career. First and foremost, learning the concepts. Second of all, having an understanding of all those different concepts and where everybody fits. Next thing, learning defenses, and then having a great understanding of coverages. And so with all that said, and don't get me wrong, he's a fast learner. And with all that said, now you give him the freedom and the levity to make certain calls at the line of scrimmage, and it makes him dangerous because now this guy here, he has that vision. He has what we call that pilot vision. He has the ability to see things. And the thing about it, he'll see it, and he knows exactly what the voids are going to be in the defense. So he sees it as a chess game, whereas you got to think about the moves, 4 and 5 moves ahead of time, you know, before it actually happens. So that's what's fun about him. It's just a strategy and just making sure that he's always, I want to say not 100% correct, but always has an answer, all right, to what they're doing.
Anyone else? Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.